When the golden lights of Paris shimmered brighter than ever on a cool October evening, the world stood still for one of the most iconic arrivals in recent fashion history. The Dior venue, known for its timeless class and allure, witnessed something it had never seen before. Johnny Depp and Jimin stepping out together side by side, transforming a simple red carpet moment into a global sensation. What began as a regular Dior showcase turned into an unforgettable night of elegance, artistry, and electric energy, a moment that will be remembered as the Dior night that shook the world. The arrival heard around the world. As the clock struck 8, murmurs began to ripple through the crowd gathered outside the Dior building in Paris. The air buzzed with excitement. Security lines tightened, cameras flashed from every direction, and fans held their breath. Then through the long line of black Dior SUVs, one door opened, and out stepped Johnny Depp. The screams began instantly, an eruption of cheers, gasps and raw emotion that swept through the crowd like wildfire. "Johnny, Johnny! Johnny!" they chanted, their voices echoing through the Parisian night. Dressed in a black velvet Dior suit with his signature vintage rings glimmering under the camera flashes, Depp radiated effortless cool. His sunglasses reflected the flashes. His smirk, a blend of mystery and rock star confidence, melted hearts, young and old alike. Moments later, as the noise reached a fever pitch, another SUV pulled in. The door opened quietly at first, but the moment Jimin stepped out, the world seemed to pause for a heartbeat, and then exploded again. The Dior Global Ambassador, BTS's Jimin, appeared in a sleek white silk ensemble designed exclusively by Kim Jones. His presence was ethereal, soft yet commanding, elegant yet modern. And when he looked up and waved with his shy, genuine smile, the crowd erupted again. What followed was pure magic. Johnny Depp and Jimin meeting at the Dior entrance, greeting each other with warmth, laughter, and mutual respect. Two icons. One moment the cameras went wild. Johnny Depp, the Hollywood legend known for his rebellious charm, stood beside Jimin, the K-pop global superstar known for his artistry, grace and heart. The two worlds, rock and pop, west and east, classic and modern, collided in the most stunning harmony. Fashion editors, critics, and fans all agreed. This was more than just a red carpet. It was history in motion. Jimin bowed politely to Depp, who responded with a gentle hand on his shoulder and a grin that said, "We've made the world stop tonight." The photographers couldn't get enough. For Dior, this was an unprecedented moment. Two of its most influential ambassadors in the same frame, both representing the brand's timeless spirit yet embodying completely different eras of artistry. The fans, a symphony of love and energy. Outside, the scene was unbelievable. Thousands of fans, some waiting for over 12 hours, filled the streets near Avenue Montaigne. From teenagers waving BTS light sticks to older movie enthusiasts holding Pirates of the Caribbean posters, the crowd represented generations of love. When Depp waved at them, the chant grew louder. "Johnny! Johnny! Johnny!" And when Jimin joined in with a small bow and a heart gesture, the energy surged to another level. Videos of the moment flooded social media within seconds. "This is unreal," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "The world just stopped. Johnny Depp and Jimin together at Dior? That's history." Within an hour, hashtags like Johnny Depp x Jimin, Dior legends, and Johnny and Jimin at Dior were trending worldwide. A meeting beyond fashion. What fascinated observers most wasn't just the glamour or the screams. It was the connection. Despite coming from entirely different worlds, Johnny Depp and Jimin shared something rare. A deep creative spirit that transcends language, culture, and generation. Depp at 62 represents the soul of Hollywood rebellion, the man who turned every role into art. Jimin at 29 embodies the poetic sensitivity and innovation of the new generation, an artist whose dance and voice have touched millions. Their shared appearance at Dior wasn't planned as a gimmick. According to sources close to the brand, both stars arrived as part of Dior's ongoing Art in Motion concept, which celebrates creative evolution and timeless individuality. Fashion critics were quick to note the symbolism. Johnny Depp and Jimin standing together is a visual metaphor for Dior itself, said one Parisian fashion editor. Classic meets contemporary. Mystery meets purity. The brand could not have dreamed of a better fusion. Inside the Dior show, a rare glimpse. Once inside, the energy continued. Johnny Depp, seated beside Dior's creative director Kim Jones, was seen laughing warmly, engaging in conversations with designers and old friends from the film industry. His charm filled the room, yet there was a visible calm in his presence. The aura of a man who had seen storms and found peace in the art of simplicity. Jimin, on the other hand, exuded quiet grace. Cameras followed him as he interacted with international stars and fashion icons. His movements were soft yet purposeful, as though he were dancing even when standing still. The Dior show itself unfolded with the brand's signature blend of modern minimalism and timeless heritage. Each look that graced the runway seemed to mirror the essence of the two men who had captivated the night, freedom and refinement. And when the lights dimmed at the finale, both Depp and Jimin stood together clapping in appreciation. It wasn't just a moment of fashion, it was a celebration of art, individuality, and global unity. The social media stormed within minutes. Clips of the arrival spread across every social platform. On X, formerly Twitter, one post showing Depp and Jimin smiling together surpassed 50 million views within 6 hours. On TikTok, fans created edits pairing their scenes with soft jazz and BTS's Filter, blending cinematic nostalgia with modern rhythm. Instagram was no different. Dior's official post featuring the two reached record engagement, with comments from celebrities, stylists, and even musicians marveling at the pairing. Two kings, one Dior moment, wrote one designer. Johnny and Jimin are what happens when art meets soul, another commented. The energy of the crowd eyewitnesses described the moment as electrifying. It wasn't just noise, said a fan from Italy who had flown in for the event. When Johnny stepped out, you felt decades of love and loyalty from his fans. When Jimin appeared, it was like an angel descended. Everyone screamed, but there was also awe. When they stood together, it was harmony. You could feel the respect in the air. Even local Parisians stopped in the streets, capturing the crowd's reaction. I've never seen anything like it outside Dior, said one photographer. Not even at movie premieres. It was as if two worlds were colliding, and everyone wanted to be part of it. A new chapter in Dior's legacy for Dior, this night was a golden statement. The brand that has always balanced rebellion with refinement found its living symbols in Depp and Jimin. Johnny Depp, who has been a face of Dior Sauvage for years, represents the bold, untamed masculinity that the fragrance embodies. His connection with Dior goes beyond campaigns. It's about legacy and artistic courage. Jimin, on the other hand, symbolizes the new era of Dior. Fluid, expressive, and emotionally intelligent. His global influence as a K-pop icon has expanded Dior's reach into a younger, more diverse audience, while maintaining the brand's essence of sophistication. Together, they represent Dior's duality, the timeless and the modern. Depp's resurgence, a man at peace. For Johnny Depp, this appearance carried deeper meaning. After years of turbulence and media trials, the actor's re-emergence into the spotlight has been marked by grace, humility, and an evident peace. The Dior event felt like a homecoming, not just to fashion but to admiration without judgment. He smiled more. He engaged warmly with fans. His eyes carried the weight of experience but also a lightness, as though he had finally found balance. This is Johnny at his best, said one longtime friend. He's not proving anything anymore. He's just being, and that's when he shines the brightest. Jimin. The global gentleman Jimin's presence, too, was nothing short of captivating. Known for his gentle manners and quiet charisma, he embodied what Dior calls grace in motion. Every gesture, from the way he greeted staff to the way he posed for photographers, reflected authenticity. He doesn't just wear Dior, said a Korean fashion editor present at the event. He lives it. His energy, his subtlety, his calms, it's all Dior. And beside Depp, he looked like the bridge between past and future. Jimin's fans, the army, celebrated his appearance as another milestone in his journey as a global icon. His ability to command the stage, even without words, once again reminded the world why he remains one of the most respected artists of his generation. Moments that broke the internet. Throughout the night, Small but powerful moments kept social. Media ablaze, Johnny Depp whispering something to Jimin, making him laugh shyly. Jimin helping a Dior staff member with a fallen badge, a simple act of kindness caught on camera. Depp signing a fan's handmade Forever Johnny poster, while Jimin waved from the car window. The final moment, both waving goodbye, as fans continued to chant Johnny, 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 echoing into the Paris night. Each clip became a viral treasure, shared millions of times, celebrated by fans across languages and continents. Global reaction. From Hollywood to Seoul, the world couldn't stop talking about it. Entertainment. Tonight called it an iconic cultural crossover. Vogue Korea named it the Dior Night of Legends. The Guardian described it as the union of two art worlds, cinema and music, meeting through fashion. Even Dior's CEO commented on the global impact. Johnny Depp and Jimin represent two unique spirits. Together they remind us that art has no borders. Tonight Dior celebrates not only style but the beauty of connection. Behind the scenes, the Dior team. Speak sources close to the event revealed that the pairing wasn't random. According to a Dior executive, both Depp and Jimin were personally invited by Kim Jones to appear at the show together, as part of a symbolic message, Dior through the ages. Depp, as a longtime collaborator, represented Dior's enduring essence. Jimin, its vibrant evolution. They were both incredibly humble and kind, said one stylist. Johnny arrived early, greeted everyone by name, and stayed long after to talk. Jimin, too, thanked every member of the staff and even complimented the models backstage. You could feel genuine respect from both sides. The legacy of the night, when the lights finally dimmed and the guests left, Paris was still buzzing. Outside Dior, fans lingered for hours, replaying videos, discussing the looks, and recounting the moment when their idols stood together. Fashion insiders called it a once-in-a-lifetime event, not because of spectacle alone, but because of the authenticity behind it. Johnny Depp and Jimin didn't just attend a fashion show. They symbolized unity, of art forms, of generations, and of hearts. Friends, subscribe the channel, and wish you good luck. Take care yourself.